Okay, so we talked about some of the features that are common to all of the seal laminators. Here we've stepped up to a 62 Pro D. This is a dual heated machine. Top and bottom rollers are both heated. This opens up a lot of different options for a higher productivity shop. Obviously this isn't going into a small wrap shop, a small sign shop. This is a big digital print house or a commercial print shop, something like that. This machine allows you to do encapsulation. It allows you to do pressure sensitive for wraps and that sort of thing. It allows you to do your mounting as well. But I want to talk about a couple of different features that set this machine apart from the average machines. So, you'll notice that instead of the one supply shaft and single take-up that you have on the smaller machines, you have two supply shafts at the back. In reality, this shaft, and this is the supply, this is the release line and take-up. This one down here is called a combi shaft. So there are three combi shafts on this machine. 1, 2, 3. And a combi shaft means that you can run from the side over here. This is the brake mechanism. And you can have it dialed all one way to where it would be powered and turning like this. Or you can have it as a supply shaft where you just have brake. So that's your supply, your laminate supply. That's your release line and take-up. And then 1, 2, 3, those are combi shafts, and those can be used as either. So that facility gives you a lot of flexibility with this machine. So you can have, for instance, we could look at having maybe a gloss and a matte back here. So if your shop needs some extra flexibility and you need that extra efficiency of being able to move back and forth, you can have laminates loaded up on here already. If you wanted to be able to run through and use this as a take-up, you could also do that. For encapsulation, I'd have my thermal up here, and I'd have similarly a thermal down there at the bottom on the back shaft, and those would come through the nip here, and I'd use this for my media and come through to encapsulate it that way. We look at the shafts here. These are the same auto grips, but these ones have a tape measure built in to every single one. So every shaft has a tape measure, and the table has a tape measure as well. Looking over here at the controls, you can tell from the front this is a Pro D because you have two temperature gauges. These are digital readouts, on, off, temperature set up and down. There's your power, the I button, the same way that it was before, the snail. All of these controls should look very familiar from where we were before. Now, this particular machine has the upgraded productivity pack. And obviously if a customer is looking at a Pro D, you're really going to want to get your seal representative involved early in the process because you're dealing with a more sophisticated buyer, and we're going to need to tailor the sale to his specific needs. But the most common question that I get regarding the Pro D is, what is the productivity pack? So we're going to go through. It's the easy in-feed table, it's the optional fans, and there's the on-off switch for the fans, and we have outfeed slitters on the back side. So, looking at the in-feed table, it's cantilevered, it's balanced. Looking at the table, it's balanced so that it's easy to lift up and down. You've got, if you're running boards, everything runs smoothly over the top. The print flattener bar that we used before actually is concealed within the table. So it rises out like that, same electrostatic discharge, same kind of sight holes that I can see where everything's lined up. In addition to that, we have a graphics feeding roller. Okay, so let me just grab a graphic. Okay, so if I have a single print, what I can do is make sure that everything's lined up nice and straight, and then all I need to do is roll the print backwards, and I can go straight in there. You see how everything lines up dead straight, and there's no touching the print, there's no skewing the print, it goes in perfectly straight, and it makes life very, very simple for loading a print. And then when you're done with the print, the roller just drops down there. Print flattener drops down there. So that's the easy in-feed table. If we come around to the back side of the machine, I'll show you the other two components of the productivity pack. Down here, you can see the cooling fans. Cooling fans are in order to cool down an encapsulation so that there is less roll set on the film. What that means is if you have warm film coming off here at 200 degrees and roll it up tightly onto a take-up, sometimes it can stay curled up. If you've ever bought an encapsulated map from the Smithsonian or something, often by the time you get it home, it's curled up into a little tube. That's because these fans weren't in operation at the time. So those fans will cool down the material while it comes out of the nip here and into this second set of rollers. So currently, this set of rollers is in the position where we'd be running a board. And the board comes straight out here. And to engage the pull rollers, I pull them back like that, and you can see where everything's being cooled down here. And your encapsulation output would come down here. And then I can use this to take up in a full roll-to-roll machine. So the last component of the productivity pack, these aren't in the productivity pack, this is standard because obviously it's a dual encapsulating machine, so you need pull rollers. The productivity pack is the table, fans, and these are outfeed slitters. So these adjust from side to side, and you simply drop down. There's a blade at the bottom. So when those are engaged, you can have, for instance, if you're doing, we'll stick with Smithsonian prints, if you run them two up, you've got a gutter in the middle, you can use this to split those into more manageable, easy pieces for then use to cut down in the X direction afterwards. So all in all, very high productivity, very efficient machine, still built to the same uniframe construction. Everything on here is strong, built tough. It's a strong, reliable machine. Get us involved as soon as you can on a sale like this, but that should go to some way to explain the differences between the top end and the entry level.